Good morning. Hello. Excited to be alive today.
Oh, that's good. So how does it feel to, how can you say, since you're not in the first season, but you're in the second season, and for you, how does it feel for you to play a character that was introduced, but now you're being in the second season? Obviously, the question probably didn't make any sense. But
No, I think I know what you're getting at. Yeah, I guess it did feel like a new character this season because Shelley has evolved a lot, and I don't know, just not knowing anyone was probably really helpful coming onto the show because Shelley feels alienated from society, and I didn't know anyone, and I'm wearing prosthetics and meeting everyone looking like a monster, and that's how Shelley would feel. So it really aided any character preparation he was doing.
My character wasn't on the first season, but coming in and being an outsider, and then also my character being an outsider to Hemlock Grove, it was helpful for that initial, like, trying to find your footing. But then we eventually, like, eased into it, and it was lots of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with Todd Masters as far as prosthetics and makeup going.
Master.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Todd Masters.
He's a genius.
So cool.
And
He
it's-
does wicked stuff.
It's like a grueling 3-hour process to get all your makeup on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time we did it was actually on Halloween. We did a camera test, and I met him, and it's just, I've heard about him for years, and he knows what he's doing.
I actually went to his, I had to get a face cast for this one scene that we were doing. And so I was out here in LA, and I was at his warehouse with all of his stuff. And he was like, take pictures of whatever you want. And I was like, doo. Oh, it's cool stuff. What an amazing.
You mentioned that this happened around Halloween, so does that mean that you guys have access to like the best Halloween costume?
I thought about that because I was wearing it all. I asked, I was like, could I technically go out trick-or-treating like this? It would be the best. No one would answer the door.
It looks so real. Yeah, on Halloween, I still had all my tattoos on. And I was like, I could go out in these and just say I'm like, I don't know. What can I possibly say? I'm just badass. That's what I am for Halloween.
No one would give us candy.
Taking a break. They'd be like, you two aren't even real.
How long were those doing those tattoos, anyways? And
The first time took about like almost 3 hours, and then we got it down to a system. I started helping them out. We got really going quickly to like an hour and a half.
Did you thought the tattoos were so cool? You kept it and showed up in public with them?
Yeah, I would go to the store. I went to the gym one time with them on, and because they were sort of rubbing off, and I remember a guy kind of like, I think this girl like has a disease or something. They were fun though. It's like putting on a different skin, putting on a new person. Like that is a lot of tattoo.
It is.
It's dedication, really.
It is.
Well done.
Thanks.
Has there been a scene for you in the second season or first season that's kind of stood out as the most fun you've had on the show?
I had a lot of fun shooting the neck biting scene where there was just like 75 pounds of blood raining upon me. For me, that was a pretty fun time.
What's that taste like?
It doesn't taste as good as you think. It's like cornstarch and red food coloring, and then there's some chocolate syrup in there. And it's like, this kind of tastes terrible, and then it gets in your eyes, and you're like, I'm done. It hurts.
Yeah, there was a lot of action stuff I was surprised I had to do, and I've never done that before, so
Yeah.
that was pretty fun.
Are you guys familiar with a lot of the Romanian folklore presented in the show? Are you guys curious about it at all?
I mean, I think it's fascinating. I haven't like kind of
You
dove
haven't
into
researched
that. I haven't
it?
researched that. I'm terrible. My character's not a gypsy or whatever, or an au pair. So it's not something I need to do my character work on.
What has kind of surprised you about the fandom that's kind of emerged from Shelley and stuff, like, you know, throughout, from between season 1 and 2, like, what are, like, some sort of, like, memorable things you've come across?
Oh, I don't know. I think everyone, obviously, a lot of girls really admire Shelley, and I think every girl can relate to not feeling like a beauty queen, and that was one of the reasons why I was really excited to sink my teeth into the character, so to speak. That's a bad analogy.
No, that was a great analogy.
Like sink my teeth.
That's a great one. That's perfect.
What would you say are some of the challenges with playing Shelley?
You know, I thought the prosthetics were going to be a bigger challenge, but they weren't. It's helpful once you look in the mirror and see that you feel the way she would.
Right.
And people even, they treat you completely differently when you look like that. I mean, even like the crew on set, when they met me, I could tell people were slightly afraid of me. And then I would come in with nothing on. Nobody knew who I was. They'd be like, "Oh, who are you?" I was like, "I was here earlier. It looks different."
That'd be an interesting social experiment.
It
Out and
was.
trying to be an actual person wearing those prosthetics.
Yeah, it scares people. And also people really stare at you, and I think because they knew I couldn't see out of that eye, people
So they
would
would
be
just
like,
look in it. She can't even see me right now.
So can you see out of that
I
eye?
can't. It makes it hard for when you're doing an action scene. Seeing out of one eye, I'd be like, oh.
So it's like wearing an eye patch or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That just
Yeah,
takes
your
over your
depth
whole head.
perception is very altered.
Did you find yourself running into things while you were doing the
I
action?
did. They
scenes?
always had, because they also had to make me taller, so I was always standing on high boxes. And at the end of scenes, you'd be like backing away, and they always had someone catch me because I was
Just gonna fall down. That's hilarious.
Earlier, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Famke was saying that she's very squeamish around gore and horror movies and stuff like that. So, how would you each characterize your relationship with horror films, the whole genre?
I love horror. I personally think it's awesome, and I know she doesn't like it. It's funny.
I know, I try to like it. It's scary.
It's not
I
really
can't
that
get
scary
through it.
though. It's a movie. It's make believe. I love it. I love horror movies. I just like slasher movies are my favorite. But I like growing up. Cabin Fever was like a really. I loved that movie. We would watch it. We'd always watch it. I was watching it when I was younger. It was weird. Why? But now being on set and seeing how they do it and seeing like what the blood is made out of and how they make it like that dark color that doesn't look like a cheesy 80s flick, and how they make it shoot out of your neck and what the prosthetic is when someone gets like eaten alive and you see it and it's like it doesn't take the magic away, but it does kind of take a little bit of the fear away. It's like, oh, that's what that's made of and that's how that's made and this is what the blood is made of, and you can kind of break it down. It's not as scary anymore
We were talking
for some
about,
people.
talking about binge watching on Netflix. What are some shows you guys are currently binge watching?
I need to binge watch her show.
My show!
I did just
I-
watch about 8 episodes of House of Cards on a plane.
You watched it on the plane?
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch Netflix. I'm trying to watch Hemlock on the plane tomorrow. I want to. I just finished Orange is the New Black the other day. And in a day. That's my most recent binge, if you want to call it that.
How do you like being that love triangle between Peter and Roman?
Now, it's not a love triangle.
Oh, okay.
Because that puts it as like, okay, she comes in and then, oh, and now they're gonna fight over her. But I don't want to say this about my character because I don't want to feel like I'm being cocky. But she's so much more than that. She holds so much more. There's just so much more depth to her character and why she's there and what she means for Hemlock Grove and for the boys. I didn't mind being a part of a love thing with them because they're lovely looking. But it's not a triangle. I mean, you have to see it and watch it.
Can you talk a little bit about the relationship between Shelley and Roman? She was in season 1, really his tether to kind of being a good person, at least on some level. Is she still like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she brings out his human side, and she gets, I think, any affection that she gets in life, she gets from her brother. That's one of my favorite things, actually, about the character and about the show is their relationship. And Bill's such a good actor. There were so many scenes that it just reminded me of my own relationship with my brother. together. It's so charming.
And what can you say about your relationship with Olivia this season?
Oh gosh. Shelley's relationship with Olivia has always been strained, but this season, I think Olivia sort of respects her more because when Shelley does return, she's kind of come into her own, and I think Olivia, being as powerful and as she is, can see that she's changed.
Good answer.
Do you think she's also still trying to figure out how she can manipulate Shelley?
Oh yeah, always.
That's
Yeah,
always-
that's like her
yeah.
main priority.
That's just Olivia for you.
To what extent does the location that you film on sort of add to the whole mood?
Well, the show is set in like Pittsburgh, which is it's a steel town. It's an industrial town. We would shoot in Hamilton, which is like an industrial town, but also it was kind of beautiful in its own way. Like especially seeing it from afar as the sun was setting. It was beautiful. It was. It adds a lot to the town, though, just to that kind of depressing vibe that you get.
Yeah, Canada has
Almost
so many
eerie.
beautiful woods as well, and I know a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of my scenes were shot in the woods in the middle of the night in the snow, and that I think adds a lot of mystery to it.
Except did you get those scripts and you're like, thanks for that.
I know, I was like, gosh, 4 a.m. and an ice storm.
Can I go back to my mansion, my nice like attic bedroom?
I'll take that and Olivia's criticism right now.
What are your hopes for a season 3?
I want Shelley to have a boyfriend,
That's
and that's about it.
about it.
I think she should. I think if she can't find somebody who's tall enough, Price should just create someone for her.
Yeah,
The height thing is a problem.
yeah, that might be difficult. Hopes for my character. Hope for season 3. My character, I don't even know how to answer it because at the end of episode 10, you don't know if Miranda is alive or dead. So I personally hope that she's alive and that she just goes on and lives her life and prospers and doesn't have too much mental damage from her whole experience in Hemlock Grove.
And how was your experience shooting this season?
I loved working on this show. I've never worked on a supernatural show, and it was an adventure. Especially I worked so closely with the guys. I mostly worked with them, and their dynamic is so goofy and silly. But then there's so much their characters, but also so different. So it was fun to see that after watching the first season and get to know who they really were, and to explore this character that she's going through some stuff. And to try and gauge how crazy she's feeling at one point and and bring it back and play with it. It was fun.
Yeah, I've never gotten to wear prosthetics or do action scenes, and being on a supernatural show, you don't have any boundaries in your character choices, which is really freeing.
What are some of the challenges working on a supernatural TV show versus a reality-based show?
Maybe the technicalities, I guess. In a show that doesn't have that, you just show up, have your lines memorized, and they tell you where to sit, and you go. But on a show like this, to get all those things that they do so well, it takes all this planning, and how are we going to have the blood here, and then that take it was there, and now we have to remember where it was, and you have to focus on just the creative part of it, but keep that in mind as well.
Did you feel kind of awkward playing Miranda, all of a sudden lactating and feeding the baby
Oh
and
my
all that?
goodness, yes. I've never done that before. I don't have a child, and I've never breastfed one. So that was weird. Yeah, it felt weird. I still never really got comfortable with the whole lactating thing because it's weird. It's like, what the hell is happening? But working with those babies, oh my god. I like FaceTime their mom all the time. And like, show me the girls, I miss them so much. Honeys.
I didn't know that.
My little honeys. I miss them so much.
You're just gonna add that to the list of things you're glad Shelly doesn't
I
have to do.
Shelley's on her own. She needs no one and nothing.
You get a boyfriend for no reason.
Yeah.
No babies.
No babies
No
for Shelley.
I don't. Maybe some tall babies.
Thanks.
Last question.
I'll just like ask. So you deal with Olivia a lot. So, well, who would you say would win in a fight, Olivia or Cersei Lannister? If you watch Game of Thrones, that is.
Oh, I don't know. Definitely
She's like the
Olivia.
queen one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Olivia.
Yeah. Olivia is
I don't know.
evil.
Olivia is, man, that beautiful woman is so sinister. She is so evil. Not Famke. Olivia.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.